Hi, good evening, everyone. For some reason, I don't have the beach as the virtual background.
Very good evening, ma'am.
I don't have any virtual background except the blur. Okay. Best of luck, Shalu. Best of luck, Shubham. And best of luck, Ajitesh. There he goes. I'm not getting a beach. Okay, let me just download something. Kshitij, can you please put in a group for everyone to join?
Yeah, sure.
Anna, could you please rename me as Krish? It's Teja.
Kolkata Toastmasters, can you please make me a host?
Please be like that only, Krish. Sometimes you are Sheetal, sir. Sometimes you are Teja. Sometimes.
Deepak, can you please make me the host? Yeah, thank you. Who's Teja?
Krish, please rename.
Krishnesh,
Yes.
the recording has started, but I don't see any way to stop the recording.
Are you co? Good evening, everyone. Dear Toastmasters, guests, and distinguished Toastmasters who are visiting VirtuoMasters Club today. Thank you very much for deciding to spend the afternoon and evening with us. At VirtuoMasters Club, we strive to ensure that no matter what, our members are able to learn from each other as well as from Toastmasters across the fraternity. So welcome again, dear guests. Before I get started with a short message, here are a few rules we all should follow so that our meeting goes a lot smoother. One is, let us be encouraging and fill the chat or use the emojis or unmute ourselves after a speaker concludes their speech with applause and appreciation. While we do that, let us ensure that we also keep ourselves mute if we are not speaking. Let the speaker on stage have a noise-free experience while delivering their speech. If you intend to keep your video on throughout, please ensure that you are sitting in an appropriate position throughout the time your video is on. And of course, last but not the least, please refrain from talking on sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. That being said, we've had a week of so much rain. We decided that maybe let's not call Calcutta Calcutta anymore. Let's call it Venice or London, or ask Ola to start a ferry service. And finally, God has heard our prayers. And though rain was forecasted for the weekend, here we are on a sunny, or rather cloudy yet sunny afternoon on Saturday. Maybe we are in Calcutta, but our backgrounds say something else. So, that being said, the message here, my friends, is it doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's cloudy, if it's sunny. What matters is how you feel about it. A background can change a meeting, and a mindset can change your attitude. That being said, this is something of a trait that I see every time I speak to our president. She is someone who is, I talk to almost every day, and no matter what we talk about, when the call ends, I find myself a much happier person than when I called her. And I'm sure she'll say the same about herself, that she's also happier once she gets off the call with me. So it's all about the mentality, it's all about the attitude with how you approach the things that are happening in your life. That being said, let me call upon our beloved president of VirtuoMasters Club, the newly tagged, though she doesn't like it, but the newly tagged DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Panna Rashmide, to the stage. Thank you, Madam Panna. Please take it over.
Let's keep it going to a fantastic acting sergeant at arms. I have no clue where he is, but I can hear a lot of crows in the background. And he is always there for us. And yes, you know why? Sometimes we do speak every day. And most of the days he calls me Pan, Pan, Pan. And now it has become DTM Pan. Oh God. That is Krishnesh, our sergeant at arms, acting sergeant at arms for you. So welcome everyone to the 80th session of VirtuoMasters Club. And let me open the meeting with a bang of the gavel. I love doing that. You all have seen the MOM and the WhatsApp group. Let's have a thumbs up from all those who have seen it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shubham. Friends, we have a guest with us, guest Raja Virendra. Let me quickly ask him to come on, switch on his video and introduce himself. Guest Raja Virendra, could you please introduce yourself?
Ma'am, pardon, ma'am. It's your voice is unable. Could you please speak up again?
Oh, I was not audible, is it?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I
it's
said so
absolutely
many
okay.
things. Anyway, I would like to welcome you, guest Raja, to our VirtuoMasters Club. And I would like you to switch on your camera and introduce yourself, please.
Okay. A very warm welcome to everyone. My name is Raja Virendra Mahapatra. I am a BBA graduate and I have recently joined Toastmasters, and this is my second meeting I'm attending of Toastmasters.
That's so wonderful, Raja Virendra. If I might ask you, Toastmaster Raja Virendra, if I might ask you, which club have you joined?
I haven't joined a club yet. I'm a guest still.
Yes, you had come to our club as a guest last week also. Yes. Welcome once again to our club. I hope you enjoy yourself. And please do
Yeah,
take part in the table topic section.
yeah, sure, ma'am.
I would also like to give a hearty thank you and a big welcome to DTM Angad for being here with us today. Let's give him a big round of applause. Friends, like our Sergeant at Arms, acting Sergeant at Arms said that yes, after the rains, we needed something sunny and bright and wonderful to take a session to another height. We have planned a beautiful session for us, and we have somebody who's very, very enthusiastic. Why would I say enthusiastic? Because yes, he's a new Toastmaster. Yes, how wonderfully he entertained us, remember, with his singing? You all remember, all those who saw him. Well, our Toastmaster of the day, needs no other introduction. He has mesmerized us in the past with his music. Being a passionate traveler, today he is going to take us down the memory lane to some beautiful beach destinations. And that is what we require. I hear rains are coming in tomorrow again. So we need to be in a good space. And our Toastmaster of the day today is going to take us to this wonderful space. With that, I would like to hand over the virtual podium to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ajitesh Chaudhary. The virtual podium is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Panna Rashmi Ray. It's such
Toastmaster Ajitesh, I'm unable to hear you. Is it the same for others?
I guess we all are unable to hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Apologies for that glitch. We can't help it. It happens. But great, we are back. And thank you so much, DTM Panna Rashmi Ray. It's always a privilege to have you, and it enlightens the mood of the entire meeting when you start the session. Thank you so much. So life takes you down many paths, but my favorite ones take me to the beach. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word beach? Sand, sky, sunset on a beach, water sports, friends. Okay, wait, dil chata hai. So join me today on this fun ride to the beach where I take you down the memory lanes through my favorite beach memories. It was back in 2017 when me and my wife, we did a road trip on the west coast of North America where she was visiting me from Europe. And I really wanted to make that memorable. So we decided to do a road trip for 3,500 kilometers on the west coast, all the way from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Along the Pacific coast, it is called the Highway 1. While you drive through the road, there is a Pacific coast on your side. Across the road, there are wonderful attractions which you can enjoy. There is the Pebble Beach, which is a very famous golf course. There is the tree called Lone Cypress, which holds the record of the most photographed tree in North America. There are elephant seals basking the sun, and you can enjoy them on the beach, and you would really want to do the same like them. There is the Santa Cruz Beach Broadwalk with all the fun-loving people having water sports there. And then there are the cute seagulls, but beware. The, the more the cute they look, they aren't so. They are always aggressive and trying to snatch your food. So please be careful. So here we start with that beautiful memory, our session today. A Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 sessions. There is this prepared speech, there is a table topic, and then there is an evaluation. In a prepared speech, just like before visiting a beach, to prepare our picnic baskets, right? Carefully organizing what we would need to carry. And we put our thought into that. Similarly, our prepared speakers have put their thought and prepared their speeches, which they would be delivering in this section. We next have the table topic sections, which is the impromptu section. Just like the sea hitting the shore with a surprise each time, you don't know how high the next tide would be. Similarly, this is the most interesting session of the meeting. And then we have the evaluation session, which keeps a long lasting impression on us, just like our footprints on the sand. And that evaluation session is the most important to help us improve on our speaking. With that said, I would like to introduce you to our general evaluator of the day. Our general evaluator today has a very interesting take when he visited a beach, or rather, I would say to any beach destination. So he went to Goa with his 7 friends, and that was off season in the monsoons, and he enjoyed more than an on season time. And my friend, I do connect with you on that because my first visit was also during the monsoons. And trust me, you could avoid all the crowd and all the lofty prices that the destination has, and you can really enjoy your time. Our DTM today has Maldives on his bucket list as his next beach destination. So introducing you, DTM Angad. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, everyone. It's truly great to be here with all of you today. First of all, I hope I am audible. Someone can please confirm. Okay, thank you very much. So the purpose of having a general evaluation in the meeting, even though our Toastmaster of the Day mentioned it in a brilliant way and described to us all the importance of each and every section, yet the reason why we have evaluations in a meeting is the same as why we have appraisals in companies, we have examinations in schools and colleges. That is to get the reality check of where we currently are at the moment. Now, if we just keep on delivering speeches week in and week out, if we keep on speaking week in and week out, we might not get the right idea of where we are, the things we are doing right, the things we can improve on, the things we are not doing right. So we need evaluations for that, which is why the role of the general evaluator is there in place. That is to tell everyone about the various aspects of the meeting. And for this, I would be accompanied by my team, which would consist of speech evaluators and 3 other role players who are collectively called the tag team, or the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian. So first, I would like to introduce the timer of the day, Toastmaster Shilpa, to please come and tell us more about the role she is playing today. Over to you, Toastmaster Shilpa.
Thank you, General Evaluator, sir. So I am the timer for the day. And as a timer, my duty is to time everyone. I will show the timer cards as virtual background. Let me just show you like this. I will show green at the minimum time, yellow at the mean time, and red at the maximum time. If a speaker in a prepared speech section where the speech limit will be 5 to 7 minutes, then I will show the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. And for evaluation, the time limit will be 2 to 3 minutes, where I will show green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 3 minutes. For table topics, the time limit will be 1 to 2 minutes. I will show green card at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. Please note that 30 seconds is you will have 30 seconds grace period on the higher side only for evaluation and table topics. Whereas for prepared speech, you will have 30 seconds both on the higher side and on the lower side. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report when called upon to do so by the general evaluator. Over to you, General Evaluator, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shilpa, for that wonderful description. And I'm sure all of us will be looking forward to your report. And meanwhile, I would like to request the prepared speakers to please pin Toastmaster Shilpa's video if possible, so that they can keep seeing the time limit and make changes accordingly. Next, we have the, excuse me for a second. The boons and banes of technology. The next we have the R counter for the day, and I would like to invite Toastmaster Rima, who is playing that role, to please tell us more about what she would be doing in the role of R counter today. Over to you, Toastmaster Rima.
Thank you, Sir General Evaluator. Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to play the role of R counter, and the purpose of my role is to note down whenever a speaker will use crutch words and filler sounds. The crutch words such as and, but, like, so, you know, and filler sounds such as I'll also note if any speaker repeats the words and phrases which is not needed and of long and short pauses. I'll present my report at the end of the meeting when I'll be called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Sir General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rima, for that crisp details of the role that you will be playing today. And I'm sure all of us are looking forward to hearing from you later on. Now, I would like to invite the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Kshitij, to please come and tell us more about the role that he will be playing today. Over to you, Toastmaster Kshitij.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear single and but electrifying guest. I am Toastmaster Kshitij, and today I will be playing the role of grammarian in this session. My role is to keep a note on some good and some not so good uses of English language. And also, it is my prime duty to introduce you all to the word of the day, which is, I hope the screen is visible to you all. The word of the day for this session is benevolent. It is an adjective, and the meaning of this term is well meaning and kindly. An example in a sentence would be DTM Panna is so benevolent that she wouldn't hurt a fly. I hope you get the gist. I would request the speakers and the users of virtual podium to use the word of the day as many times as possible, and they will be rewarded with a virtual applause. With this, I wish you all the very best, and over to you, sir, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kshitij, for sharing that word and telling us more about the role. And as mentioned by Toastmaster Kshitij, whenever you find someone using the word of the day, please be benevolent enough to show the virtual applause while you hear that word. With that being said, I will be back later with my detailed report consisting of the aforementioned timer, counter, and grammarian and speech evaluators. And for now, I would like to hand the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Angad. You were benevolent enough to explain all the details of your evaluation, and thank you to all your squad members. So my friends, I'm here with my beach attire, as you can see. So gear up and get ready for a fun session. So let me tell you my most recent experience on the beach. And I was there in the most popular destination on the eastern side of India, and that is Puri. It was just a couple of weeks back. I was there, and it was a Saturday. And guess what? I was taking a Toastmaster session from my hotel room, and the beach was in front of me. And when I saw all of us, all these beautiful faces in the background, I felt that my entire Toastmaster family was there with me on the beach. So, and then going forward, when we went to the beach in the evening, yes, it was a very short-lived fun moment, because after that, when the downpour started, it did not stop for the rest of the week. And we all know how it ended up, right? Flooding everything across the city. So coming back to our session now, let me introduce you to the evaluator, the first evaluator of the day. The evaluator we have is a professional scuba diver. And guess what? Who would know sea and beaches better than a scuba diver, right? He has seen the mysteries of the underwater, which none of us have ever had probably. And there are so many things to explore down there. In his bucket list, he has Mathura Beach, which is on the Bora Bora Islands on the South Pacific Ocean. And we wish that he tries to cover that soon and shares his experiences along with us. So over to you, our first evaluator, TM Ashutosh Daga.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajitesh. Well, the speaker would be giving his icebreaker speech from Strategic Relations Pathway. Timer, please note, duration of the speech would be between 4 to 6 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and the basic structure of public speech. Given that it is the first speech, I would request everyone to unmute yourself and show some appreciation for the speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush. So coming to our first speaker of the day. So let me tell a little bit more about him. So when I was talking to him, he said that he's not more of a beach person, but more of a mountain person, right? But again, we all have interesting and fun stories related to beaches. And guess what? One of the very common stories that we all could relate to are the umpteen number of times that we have made plans of Goa with our friends and that got cancelled. So our friend here also has a similar story. While he plans to visit Pondicherry as his next beach destination and wants to enjoy the clean and pristine, nice city out there. So we will let him mesmerize us with his speech. So introducing you, our first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Shubham Gupta. And his speech title is Just Because. Just Because, Toastmaster Shubham Gupta.
When you stop to think, you will seek, asking yourself what makes you unique. As life passes through continuing turnstile, identity changes like the shadow of a sundial. When you're asked to describe your being, it is difficult to pinpoint what you are seeing. A very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. How many of you have ever come across an incident in your life when you questioned yourself that, am I good enough? Or what is it that makes me special? Or had thoughts like, what people are going to think about me? I'm sure many of you must have had the same doubts, the same thoughts at some or other point in your life, just like me. As I vividly remember, such was not the case always. Since I was good in academics, I always felt confident as a child. But the things started to change a bit from 7th standard onwards, when for the first time I participated in a competition at my school. Suddenly, I was in front of the whole school, seeing all the students out there. It was a nerving moment. It was a moment where I feel fear, I felt afraid, I felt choked, and I was barely able to speak there with my fumbling voice and confidence. But somehow I completed my speech. Now, this little incident impacted drastically my confidence level and way of thinking while growing up. I remember even when teacher used to ask a question whose answer I knew, I could not utter a word because I had internal conversation going in my mind with one voice saying, "Hey Subham, come on, raise your hand. You know its answer." And another voice saying, "Nah, you don't know anything. Don't even think about it." With one voice saying, "Hey, let's give it a try." Another voice saying, "No, what if you are wrong? What people will think?" Such was the dilemma I was always in. Even, even in my engineering days, the pattern were pretty much same, but by then I had learned how to avoid and neglect these circumstances. Till second year, it was all about fun at new place with new bunch of friends and new freedom. Everything seemed great. It was like good typical engineering days, but the things started to change to become intense and serious when I decided to prepare for engineering services examination. I gave my heart and soul into it for straight 2 years. But the result, I was not able to qualify even prelims for once. Now, this academic failure acted as a catalyst and brought all my hidden, suppressed insecurities, doubts, and fears into the surface. And this time, I was not able to handle it. I didn't know how to react. For months, I was clueless. I was clueless about myself and my future and had just one thought in my mind: am I good enough for anything? I had no confidence left in me, and I was barely able to concentrate on anything. Therefore, I left everything behind and moved back to my hometown. Now, this step proved to be a good move as it gave me the much needed support from my parents, my family, and close friends, and also gave me the ample time to reflect on my journey. Upon reflection, I realized that I needed to accept myself. I needed to accept my failures, my shortcomings, the same way I accepted my success. It made me realize that it does not matter what people think. What really matters is what you think, and most importantly, what you do. So I took a leap of faith and went further with my higher studies and currently pursuing my master's in engineering. And to tackle all the other issues like low confidence, self doubt, fear of public speaking, I joined Toastmasters. Even today, when I meet new people or face challenging conditions, my mind tend to ask me the same question again. Are you good enough? But this time I have started to remind him that just because I did not believe in myself, I always doubted my ability. Just because I always doubted my ability, I was never content with myself. Just because I was never content with myself, I wanted others' approval. But now, just because I have accepted myself, it seems the world is accepting me. Just because I have accepted myself, now this does not matter at all. So always remember, my friend, it's your flaws, it's your imperfection, it's your mistakes that makes you unique. Accept it, embrace it, and soon you will realize that every moment is an opportunity to grow. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ajitesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubham. Such a motivational speech. And it's really important to believe in yourself, accept your failure, because one who has not failed has never succeeded. Thank you so much. I would now request you all to give 1 minute for the evaluation, and the link has been shared in the chat. So I would request the timer to start the timer for a minute. Timer is 1 minute over.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, 1 minute is over.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope you all have submitted the evaluation. So let us now move on to a very fun section. Let's do a guessing game, right? So I'll tell you a story and you need to guess who that person is from our team. So here how the stories go. So this person was visiting a beach in Goa with his friends and they rented a beach shack. And the next day they found that all of their stuffs were stolen by some Ukrainian tourists from the adjacent shack. And how they realized is one of them was wearing the same volleyball t-shirt which was owned by him. And as a revenge, what they did the next day, they too stole their stuff back. And accidentally, they also stole their passports. And finally, they called a truce and returned each other's stuffs the day back after that. So can you guess who that person was? Come on, let's take a guess.
Krishnesh.
Any other guesses? So you're absolutely right. That was our very own Krishnesh. And who else that can be? So a big round of applause for Krishnesh. And trust me, when he shared that memory with me, I was laughing each time I read that again and again. So moving on to with our session, we have our next evaluator, somebody who has a very unique pick for a beach destination in his next trip. It is the Azores Island in Portugal in the North Atlantic Sea. And my friend, when I researched more about that, I definitely added that to my bucket list as well. So introducing you, our next evaluator, Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ajitesh. Before I introduce the speaker, I just want to say one thing. When Ajitesh asked me my next destination, I thought I will find something which is like so unique. And if at all Ajitesh somehow it comes out from his heart that he's going to give me a ticket to visit there, I will be visiting one of the best, beach destinations. So that was my intention when I told him this is the one the place where I would like to go. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditesh, for that. Our speaker is attempting project 2 of level 2 from the path leadership development. The purpose of this speech, of this project, is for member to observe his or her time management patterns. All the best to speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. And definitely, we both can together plan a trip to that beautiful island. I'm there with you. So going ahead with our next speaker. So somebody who, again, is fond of beaches, and she visited a famous beach in Goa, which is the Baga Beach, a very beautiful beach, with her friends after her marriage. And she has a very fun memory where one of her friends was actually sleeping on the beach with the dog, and he didn't even realize that for a long time. She has on her bucket list to go to a very own beach in Amchi, Mumbai, the Marine Drive. So wish you all the best. And over to you, our next speaker, Toastmaster Shalu Gupta, with her speech, Most Precious Commodity. Most precious commodity, Toastmaster Shalu Gupta.
Am I audible? May I have a raise of hand from all today who think nothing is precious than time in the world? Looks like many of you do. That's great. I feel we also need to understand the value of time management in our lives. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. 16th December 2017, my second birthday after my marriage. I planned to celebrate that at my home. Everything was planned. What would be the menu, list of guests, my dress, etc. I put 2 starters, 7 main course items, and 2 desserts with the help of my maid. Everyone was very happy with the arrangements and food. Even one of the guests said, "Wow, Bhabi, the arrangement is better than any hotel." And I was very happy. But one incident happened that should not have. I was not properly dressed up and guests started to come. I felt very bad at that time. Although I was very busy that day, but it was not like that I had not time to get ready. Rather, that happened just due to lack of time management and wrong choice of priorities. I could have done something after the guest arrived, but I did it earlier. That day, I realized nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of managing your time and priorities. My friends, I want to share another instance of my life. When I was in the job, I had been allotted an assignment where I had to file more than 150 ITRs within only 15 days. That was very challenging for me because the assignment was big and time was less. For completion of my assignment within time, first I made a team of 2 junior staff and 1 senior staff, and then assigned the work as per their capability. And finally, we decided to have lunch in the office rather than going outside, which saved our half an hour daily. We worked hard for that assignment, and finally, we completed the task even before time by spending only 1 hour extra daily. My boss was very happy with me and appreciated me for my commitments and dedications to my work. Friends, the lesson which I learned from this assignment is that productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused efforts. My dear friends, I managed many events at my home and lot of projects in my office. Sometimes I got success and sometimes I failed in managing time. But one thing which I learned that time is most precious in our life. But time management is not an easy task. For better time management, we have to spend a lot of time in thinking and planning about what to do next. Although it is not an easy task, but it is an art of managing your time intelligently and efficiently enough so you are able to accomplish all your targets in a systematic manner. My friends, my experiences in my life help me to understand the value of time management. Taking lessons from them, I planned to an event, keeping in mind the value of time management. Recently, on 26th August, my cute little daughter, Samriddhi, turned to 2 years. And on 1st September, her Mundan was done. I planned a lot for that because my dream was that her Mundan would be at grand level. Do you know when I had started to plan? 1 month before. Because I knew I would have to manage the celebration of Raksha Bandhan, her birthday, and Janmashtami also within 10 days, just before her Mundan. And I didn't want any mess up at last time. But friends, one incident happened that I didn't know. Even nobody knew. Suddenly, my mother became ill, due to which I had to plan my travel to my mother's place. But my friends, despite the medical emergency, I was not hard pressed for time because I had taken buffer in my plan. So friends, as I feel, time management is not one-time activity. It is required every time, everywhere. Even I will not be wrong if I would say time management is life management. When you operate your life in a healthy, organized fashion and are able to execute your task efficiently, stress is reduced, productivity increase, and overall satisfaction surge. And one thing about time, we should always keep in mind, time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. And once you have lost it, you can never get it back. What do you say, Mr. Toastmaster?
Thank you, Toastmaster Shalu. What a wonderful speech on time management. And I truly echo with you, to be successful in life, we have to make sure that we manage our time, and only then we can be professionally and socially responsible and successful. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. We now take a 1 minute of silence for the evaluation. The link is in the chat. So please take your time and do the evaluation. Timer, please start the counter for a minute.
One minute is over. You are on mute, Toastmaster Jitesh.
Thank you. I hope you all have submitted your evaluations. So now let's move on to the next section. And before we move on to the next section, we always try to collect something memorable to places where we visit for our memories, right? And every time I was visiting a new beach, I often asked my wife, what should I get as a memory? And she insisted me to always collect pebbles from the beach. And that's how we started preserving our beach memories and collect pebbles from every beach we visited. The most beautiful and colorful pebbles I have ever collected were from the beaches of Cape Cod, which is on the easternmost side of the North America across the Atlantic Ocean. This beach holds a special significance as well because not only is the easternmost part of the continent, it was also the place from where the first transatlantic radio waves were sent from North America to Europe, and that made the radio communication successful for the first time. So now moving across to the next section, and which is the most interesting section. And to coordinate that section, let me tell you a story of our very adventurous table topic master. So she used to visit beaches and used to set up, tents and camps with a group of friends on the beach. And one night she encountered a group of smugglers on the coast. And to make sure that there is no direct encounter, they huddled up inside their tents and they were there for the rest of the night. However, like understanding whatever the repercussions could have been if there was a direct encounter. And the next morning, they had to again quickly wrap up their things and then come back because the tide came on to the place where they had set up their camps. So you can imagine how adventurous she is, and she is going to take us to this adventure ride of the next very interesting session of table topics. So introducing to you TTM Panna Rashmi Ray for taking us through the table topics with a big applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ajitesh. Let's give him a big round of applause, please. Good afternoon, no, good evening, everyone. Imagine you're lying on a beach with your friends, and a friend turns to you and asks you one pertinent question, a philosophical question, and you are lost for words. And that is why this impromptu speaking skills is so very important, and that is what we practice in Toastmasters. So this table topic section is all about impromptu speaking, where the speaker gets 1 to 2 minutes to give the speech. Guest, please note that you will be allowed to participate in this section, and you will be allowed to change your topic just once. Okay, if you change it once, you have to speak on that topic. For the benefit of everyone here, let me give you a warning. This topics might be a little difficult, especially I've made it like that because the contest season is coming up. So we need to prepare for it. Okay. So can I have some volunteers, please? Yes, Dr. Rupesh, thank you. 1 minute. Can you see my slide? Dr. Rupesh?
Screen is appearing.
Yes. Can you please choose
I'll go for one.
Number 1.
Yep.
Okay. Dr. Rupesh, your topic is life is a gamble. A good hand wins. Life is a gamble. A good hand wins. Dr. Rupesh.
My dear fellow Toastmasters and would-be Toastmasters in this forum, very good evening. I fully agree with the sentence, life is a gamble, and it is a gamble. Even I can tell you, each and everyone projecting here can relate. Just think, when you pass out, when I'm saying pass out, when you completed your 10th, what your parents and others told. This is the last 2 years where you will make hard work and you will have to make your career. But that time you are confused. What to take, arts, science, or commerce? That is a very innocent mind that time. Really don't know. You wanted to do something. I want to become astronaut. I want to become doctor. I want to become engineer. Really, what I'll do after becoming engineer or doctor, you don't know. This is the case of 90% people in India, because somehow our education system is like that. You get influenced by your parents, by your society, really never get a chance to explore what does it mean. This is what it happened with me as well. When I passed out my matriculation, I wanted to become lawyer, not liar by the way. But my father told, you want to become lawyer? He was totally against. He came one day, 12 o'clock, 12 noon, and he took me to one court. And he said, you are seeing all those persons? I saw a lot of people wearing the black coat, standing in 35 degree of temperature and asking, do you want to try something? And 1 rupee, 1 signature. Do you want to become like this? But I had different image, like Sunny Deol, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq pe Tariq. I thought lawyer is like something like that. But that time I had to take call. I told, no, dad, I want to take science. I want to become doctor or something like that. That image was, but I took gamble. I fought. My mother came and supported me. And I took science. This is where I am, I'm not medical doctor, but doctor name is there in front of me because of the gamble. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rupesh. We are glad that you became a Dr. Rupesh and not a lawyer Rupesh, not a liar Rupesh. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Dr. Rupesh. May I have the second volunteer, please? I said it's tough. It's not that tough. You can try. It's contest season is on. Come on. Seema? I'll come to you, Ashutosh. Third. Okay, let's give Seema. Let's go with Seema. Can you please pick a number, Seema? Toastmaster Seema?
I'm going for 8.
8. Toastmaster Seema. Go for height, not length. Go for height, not length. Toastmaster Seema.
Well, good evening, everyone. I've never been good at geometry, but I absolutely go ahead with this idiom or phrase, whatever it is, go with height and not length. We normally want to achieve a lot of things in life, whether it's on the personal front, the professional front, whatever it is, and we go to utter lengths to try and get there. By lengths, I mean we tend to take a long time to reach there. Sometimes we want to reach there as soon as possible, like yesterday, all the work should have been done yesterday, yet we need to reach that height. But over the years, out of experience, I've figured out that although we tend to take a long time to decide what we want to do, because not everybody has that inkling in them to have their goals all set in front of them. Because like how our previous speaker has said, we might have wanted to be someone when we were a teenager. And once you reach your adulthood, you want to be someone else. So it is not how we decide on the time frame that we take to reach there. It is on our goals, our dreams, the heights that we want to achieve, because it is these heights that are going to keep us motivated and keep us moving to go ahead. Now, as a homemaker, what would the goal be? A homemaker would obviously want to have the best home that she can have, raise a good family. That might be the heights that she would want to reach. But if you're on the professional front, what would your height be? Be a CEO of a company, or probably go on to be into immense lengths that you go to be by probably moving on from job to job, rising up the ladder slowly. But no matter what we do, I think what we need to have in mind is always that it is not the time length that you're going to take to reach there, but it is the dream and the motivation that you have in order to want to reach there. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema, for the wonderful message in your table topic speech. A big round of applause to you. Now it is time for Toastmaster Ashutosh. Toastmaster Ashutosh, 1 minute, please. Toastmaster Ashutosh, could you please pick a number?
Let's go with number 4.
Number 4. Toastmaster Ashutosh, fight to the end, then end the fight. Fight to the end, then end the fight. Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Panna, for giving this wonderful topic about violence. In this world, we all know there were some news which we all heard on 15th of August about how a few hooligans have fought, or terrorists have fought, and they have captured one entire country, and entire world is not able to do anything about it. The question in front of us is that end of fight? Have we fought till the end? Or there is still something we as human race, as human society need to do to help our brothers and sisters in this country, in this fight, in this country of Afghanistan, where people are even not getting food for themselves. Girls are not allowed to go to work. Girls are not even allowed to go to schools. And we hear, it doesn't matter to any one of us. That's the most surprising thing. The UN General Assembly is going on. No one is talking about it. United States President comes and says that this is the best thing they have done for the United States of America and Afghanistan. People are talking about engaging with Taliban, the terrorists, and making them mainstream. The question in front of all of us today is, have we fought till the end? If we think we have fought till the end, I'm pretty sure when this fight ends, none of us will be left. Entire human race will be erased from this planet. If we all do not stand today, and if we all do not speak against this Talibani mindset, against these terrorists who are taking entire country under them and then implementing some law which is against entire humanity, let's leave anything else. My friends, it's the high time that we all come up, we really work hard, and we make sure that we are fighting till the end. We are making sure that we save our brothers and sisters of Afghanistan, so that at the end, when this fight completes, as human race, we come out as the winner. Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Panna. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for the wonderful call to action, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Wonderful speech indeed. A big round of applause to you. Shubham, before I come to you, I would like to request our guest if he would like to try speaking on the table topic. Guest Raja, would you be interested?
Yes, I'm interested.
Thank you. Please, could you come on camera?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Could you please pick a number?
3.
3. Pick your fights, not your sticks. Pick your fights, not your sticks.
Okay.
Guest Raja Virendra.
So shall I begin?
Yes, please.
So pick the, can you please repeat the title again?
Pick your fights, not the sticks.
Yeah, pick your fights, not your sticks. Like it's a very good topic. Like in our day-to-day basis life, we have a small grudge with someone, we have a small fight regarding small things and all, and if we can say a misunderstanding which creates a fight. So my point of view is like picking up a fight rather than solving it would be more probably more efficient for the person, both the persons, to like have a good conclusion. Like as per the topic, picking up the fight, not the sticks. So it's like if the conversation goes verbally and it can be compromised by our words, we should not go for take sticks and fight again, like hand to hand or like by sticks. So I would say like most now this generation is like many small things like uh, suppose I'm giving an example. Me and my some of my friends have been to a hotel for a vacation. So one of my friend uses my personal thing like brush or like toothpaste or perfume. So I get if I get irritated and start a fight, that why did you use my things without asking me? So then the argument begins, and the conclusion comes to like sticks, like hand to hand a fight. So I would rather prefer that like if he has used, it's not a big deal if someone uses your product, but it should be asked before using it. So I would just suggest um like we should like take advice from our seniors regarding means I'm depressed right now regarding a fight. I want a solution. So I would consult someone special who can guide me through this, who can help me throughout to come out of the problem without going for a fight. This my in the past when I was in school, we used to have a lots of fight between girls and boys and all. Like we used to like pretend like boys are more smart, girls say we are more smart. So that was a grudge between us. So that creates an environment which negative environment. So that negative environment like gives us a for pushes us to like to start a fight. So if we could handle that situation very calmly, patiently and coolly, we could solve that problem very easily. So my point of view is fighting doesn't give a solution. Rather, talking to each other can you can get a best solution, best result, rather than picking up sticks and fighting with each other. So, I would like to say, the generation is going. We are facing a lot of problems now due to this COVID pandemic. Like small things make us irritated, like if I'm going out and coming to my house, then if I'm not using a sanitizer, it could affect my whole family. So that creates a scene also, that why I'm not using. My parents are old age people, so if I would like not take care of myself properly not sanitize myself, then the infection could infect to my parents also. So they would like the blame would come upon me, na? Like you are like the responsible for our disease and all. So that would become a fight. So I would just suggest like talking to each other, about what you are feeling inside, rather than keeping it inside the heart. If we open it up open it up towards the person with whom I have a fight, then we can talk and solve the problem and the matter easily. So that would be a very good solution for it. So this much for today, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, guest Raja. You speak so wonderfully. Why don't you join us become a Toastmaster soon? You get a lot of opportunities to speak.
Yeah,
Now,
sure.
I would like, thank you. Now, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Shubham.
Yes,
Toastmaster Shubham, please pick a topic, pick a number.
ma'am. 7.
7. Full sacks stand erect. Full sacks stand erect. Toastmaster Shubham.
We all have seen the tree of a coconut. The thing is, in life, whatever we do, whatever we want to become, we become from our efforts. But the thing is, if you're not humble, then you will fall down one day. So the thing is, you may reach to a height, you may reach a certain level, but in order to be at that level, to maintain that level, you have to be humble, you have to be ground rooted. No matter what the heights you are in, no matters what the height you want to reach, you have to be ground rooted, so that you have the flexibility to be to be flexible enough to adapt to any situation. For instance, we all were accustomed to this offline meeting and doing this thing. So even in Toastmasters, what was observed, that many people lacked motivation to join the online meeting. So the thing is, every day we grow as an individual if we come to Toastmasters. So there must be flexibility among the people, and we try to achieve it, so that we do not stand erect or not flexible to comfort any situation, or to be accommodative in a way if the situation is not favorable in our condition. So I think we all strive to be flexible enough to accommodate ourselves in any situation that life throws at you, because life is not fixed, life is not prototype where everything will happen according to you. So you have to be, so you do not need to be erect always, be straight always, and not flexible. Flexibility is the only key to be successful and be happy. So this is my take. And what do you think, Madam Table Topic Master?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shubham, for the wonderful take on the topic. Now, I think we need to end this session. I don't want to torture all you benevolent speakers. You all have been very nice volunteering to take part, even though I said it would be a little difficult. I hope now you know the table topic section is not always very easy, but we need to be prepared for whatever life throws at us. It might be a beach one day, it might be a mountain the other. Let's see how beautiful the beaches are with our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ajitesh. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Panna. It was such an amazing table topic section. We had some wonderful speakers here as well as guests. So without further ado, I would like to call on our general evaluator for today to go on and pick up the evaluation section, which have been all eagerly waiting for. So over to you, DTM Angad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jitesh. Without further ado, without any further delay, I would like to start the evaluation section, but first a small setting some context about evaluation. So as I mentioned, that evaluations are of the utmost importance as we get to know things we did well and things we can work on. So now what I will be doing is that since we had two prepared speakers today, so each of them had an evaluator mapped to them beforehand. And now I would be inviting the two evaluators one by one to deliver their evaluations based on what they inferred from the speaker. And then the speakers would have an idea as to where they can do better. And then I would be inviting the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian in the reverse order. And then I would be sharing my feedback as the general evaluator, evaluating the entire meeting as such. So first we had Toastmaster Shubham's speech. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Ayush to please come and evaluate Toastmaster Shubham's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, General Evaluator. When you stop, you will think, asking yourself, what is unique? At that point of time, I was thinking, okay, this was the same conversation which happened to me yesterday at night when I asked myself, what is unique in me? And at that point, I was, okay, what is happening over here? Is everyone thinks the same? Does everyone have the same things? So your speech had some elements which relatable to most of them. Most of the people over here. And I could vouch for this. Thereafter, number one, I love the structure of your speech. initially you started with the 7th standard story, and thereafter you moved to college, and then in your master's, your structure of the speech was going in a flow, and I was with you throughout the story, and I loved that. Thereafter, it was all personal stories. With the 7th standard speech, you mentioned that it was your first speech and you were nervous, and that made me realize, okay, when I was there in my first speech, and in the audience also, people must have realized what would the first speech for them would be, and everyone is nervous in their first speeches. So it was relatable, and at that point of time, even if at that point again the audience was, okay, what will happen now? And then the hand gestures. You mentioned the dilemma in your head, that one voice was saying something and you use the right hand, other voice saying something, and this helped me understand, okay, both the voices are different, and you specified it through your hands. And third, the fourth, speech title, just because you used it in the starting and used it at the end as well. And it was really, and in the end, when you use just because I have accepted myself, now it does not matter at all. While summarizing the speech of yours, you gave a learning, which I was like, okay, after all this, after all all the things which you have been through, you mentioned that you have when you have accepted yourself, it doesn't matter at all. It was huge learning, and thank you for that. Well, just because your speech was awesome, that doesn't mean that there's no scope for improvement. Number one would be interacting with the audience. When you said, am I good enough? Am I special? What are people going to think? So you could ask the audience, don't you all think the same? Don't you have the same questions in mind? You could have specified that and give time to it. So the audience would have thought, okay, yes, does it happen to me as well? I would have thought, does it happen to me as well? So that, I think you had multiple places where you could ask the audience. In the ending also, you could have asked, what don't you guys think? Does it matter to me when I think that the uniqueness is required? You could ask it. Number two, the pauses. Throughout the speech, you could use the pauses more. Like, for example, when you were nervous, you could have said, I was nervous, my legs were shivering. And a pause would have give me time to go through my time, that I was also nervous at that time. So overall, you were really good with the structure, the personal stories, the hand gestures, and the speech title. And things you could improve would be interacting with the audience, and a bit of pauses would have made the speech great. Thank you, Toastmaster Shubham. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ayush, for that comprehensive evaluation of Toastmaster Shubham's speech. And I agree with each and every point that you mentioned. And I also would like to congratulate Toastmaster Shubham for delivering such a wonderful speech. And it is just so often that you listen to a speech and you just see that some person is completing it for the sake of doing a speech. But there are some speeches where you see that it seems as if you're right there with the person as they're narrating that experience. That if they're in that room, it feels as if you are right there sitting with that person, just listening to what went on. And I definitely agree with the feedback that Toastmaster Ayush also shared, that maintaining eye contact with the audience and just interacting with the audience, even though some might think it is a bit difficult to do in the virtual platform. But to that, I would like to raise the point that in the past 2 years, whenever we have had the World Championship of Public Speaking, the way both of those champions have leveraged this online platform to create that connection with the two contestants, with the audience, the way the two contestants have done it, it is really something that we should learn from each and every day. Just the way they would just turn and look towards the camera while they're making certain points, which may or may not be possible in a physical meet, where we would just ask the question and someone from that side might answer it, someone from this side might answer it. But creating that connect, even though it might be difficult that as we are not in the same room, not in the same place, but we can still manage to do that if we know how to maneuver our way around it. But nevertheless, the speech was truly amazing. And of course, it truly felt like I was there listening to you and being there with you as you were going through those experiences. So congratulations once again, Toastmaster Shubham. And now I would like to move to the second evaluation, of the prepared speech. So our second speaker was Toastmaster. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Shalu. And to evaluate Toastmaster Shalu's speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Ashutosh to please come and evaluate Toastmaster Shalu's speech.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator DTM Angad Singh. First of all, very warm evening to all my Toastmasters and guests, and especially the speaker today, Toastmaster Shalu. What a benevolent speech you have given. I mean, I'm always a great fan of yours, as you always know. And the first compliment which I would like to give you is, as your speech was about time management, you really manage your time very well in your speech today. You were probably somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes when the slide was yellow. So that was absolutely fantastic. The thing which I really love when you speak is it's not just your words, but your body also speaks. You are someone who uses the body language in such a great way. You always express using your body language. And that's something which I really love. Every time you were speaking, you were showing your hand gestures, you were using the space which was there in the stage of what was visible in the camera. That was absolutely fantastic. The modulations, your voice modulations are always beautiful. You always try and time your voice modulations really well, and I believe that had a great impact on me. Now, having said that, there are few important things which I will still like to point out, which I believe can actually help in taking your good speech to the great speech. Like I said, your body language is something which I always look forward to. But today, you actually used a background. And that took away a lot of great gestures which you were actually displaying. I was hooked onto your screen. I was trying to probably guess where your hands are going and what you are speaking together. But this background was not really going well with your body language. Knowing who you are, knowing the way you express yourself, knowing that you speak with your body language as well, I will recommend that whenever you're using your background, you use it little judiciously, or probably not use it and use a well lighted room. That's something which is going to help you quite a lot. The reason I'm saying this is I'm not against a background myself. I'm someone who uses it most often. But since you speak with your body language plays such an important role when you speak. I will love to see your body language, your proper hand gestures when you are actually speaking. The second thing, again, a little less important, but I believe that transitions in your speech could have been little better. I think there were 3 incidents which you told us. They were all very, very nice incidents, very relatable. But somehow transitions could have been a little more smoother, in my opinion. I think, I'm not sure. You probably, it felt like that somewhere in between when you were switching from story 2 and story 3, it felt to me that you probably have forgot something, some of your connector, and that connection didn't come in. No, that would have been just taken your speech to another level. But having said that, like I always say, Toastmaster Shalu, I'm a huge fan of yours. You are, I mean, I can vouch for your time management skill. You are actually a taskmaster whenever I have worked with you. So all in all, an amazing speech, a very well, great content, great story, good modulation, great body language. I will look forward to hear more and more. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator TTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashutosh, for that wonderful and detailed evaluation of Toastmaster Shalu's speech. And I agree with all the points that you mentioned, that it was truly a great speech. Again, one that I could visualize in front of my eyes as it was happening on each of the 3 incidents. But definitely, I do agree that some transitions between the 3 stories would have greatly helped the speech as a whole. Nevertheless, it was a great speech. And now I would like to invite the tag team players one by one to share their reports, starting with the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Kshitij. Toastmaster Kshitij, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Once again, a very good evening, fellow ladies and gentlemen. In my report talking about the good uses of English language, we had some awesome choices of words like catalyst, embrace, prototype, inferred, judiciously, and some good phrases like shadow of sundial, heart and soul into it, Mistakes make you unique. Commitment to excellence. Strive to be flexible. Echo with you. Now, talking about some not so good uses. Somebody used I had not time. It should be I had no time. Somebody else used turned to 2 years. It should be turned 2 years old, or better, turned to two. Somebody used started to change a bit, a bit. It was a repetitive word, I guess. It should be started to change slowly and gradually if you want to go that way. Now, talking about the word of the day, which was benevolent, it was used 7 times, twice by General Evaluator DTM Angad, twice by TMOD Ajitesh, twice by TTM Panna, and once by Toastmaster and Ashutosh. So that was all in my report, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kshitij, for that wonderful report. Now, I would like to invite the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Rima, to please come and share her report with us.
Thank you, Sir General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone. I'll start with the SA. Toastmaster phrase was flawless. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ajitesh, had repeated words twice and twice. General Evaluator, Toastmaster DTM Angad Singh, had twice. Timer Shilpa, Toastmaster Shilpa, while introducing, had repeated words twice. While introducing our counter, Toastmaster Rima also had repeated words twice. Grammarian Kshitij was flawless. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Shubham Gupta, had repeated word once. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Shalu, used couple of sa. Table topic master, DTM Panna Rashmi May, ma'am, had worked flawless. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Rupesh, used once and couple of times but. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Seema ma'am, used twice. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Ashutosh, used repeated word once. Speaker 4, guest Raja, used couple of times and like. Speaker 5, Toastmaster Shubham, used couple of times While evaluator 1, Toastmaster Ayush, used multiple times and repeated word once. And evaluator 2, Toastmaster Ashutosh, used couple of times and repeated word once. Thank you. And over to you, Sir General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rima, for that report. Now, I would like to invite the timer for the day, Toastmaster Shilpa, to please come and share the timing report with us.
Thank you, General Evaluator DTM Angad. Let me share my screen. So the timing report are as follows. Toastmaster Shubham took 5 minutes 42 seconds. Toastmaster Shalu took 6 minutes 35 seconds. Toastmaster Rupesh took 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Seema took 2 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Ashutosh took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Guest Raja Virendra took 5 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Shubham took 2 minutes 8 seconds. And evaluators, Toastmaster Ayush took 3 minutes 38 seconds. And Toastmaster Ashutosh took 3 minutes 29 seconds. Therefore, future Toastmaster Raja Virendra and Toastmaster Ayush are disqualified for the awards. Rest all the other Toastmasters are qualified. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shilpa, for that wonderful report. And I'm sure all of us will be more mindful of the time going forward and keep it in mind. And now I would like to evaluate the meeting in general, as promised by me being in the role of General Evaluator. So I believe everyone would agree that today the meeting started a bit late. So there were some technical hiccups in the way, when we definitely understand that with us being in this virtual platform, it is bound to happen. And at times we simply cannot help it. Things go out of our hands. There are outages, there are internet problems, there are Zoom problems. And even when I had joined the meeting, even I faced a problem where I got logged out while trying to change my virtual background. So I could not be at the beach like how most of the attendees today are. So I had to settle for the Toastmasters background. That is okay. But nevertheless, I believe we can be a little bit more mindful that if our meeting is scheduled to start at 4, maybe we can try opening the room at say 3:40 or 3:45. And if there are any problems, perhaps we can fix them by 3:50 or 3:55 at the latest, so that when people join in, we can start the meeting by 4. And the meeting started with the Sergeant at Arms address, and then the presiding officer, then the Toastmaster of the day, and no part of the meeting felt as if it was bragging. All the parts of the meeting were explained in a thorough manner, and the guests were introduced in a way with which they felt a part of the meeting. They did not feel as if they were sitting outside looking into what is happening, but I would like to think that they felt as if they were part of the meeting and they were interacting with everyone. They participated in the table topics as well, and even interacting with the Toastmaster of the day. And really, that is something that is truly admirable, as surely this would be some people's first experience, someone's second experience in Toastmasters. And it is truly great that if they, at this stage, are that confident, and that if they have that level of comfort that they interact with the members of the club, that after becoming Toastmasters, they would surely be more confident in taking up roles and starting their communication and leadership journey. So the timer cards, I believe, were visible throughout the meeting. The timer, Toastmaster Shilpa, did a very good job in spinning the video and while spotlighting the person who was speaking, and the tech master did a great job throughout as well. And I believe every speaker had that chance to see whether they were going over time or whether they were right on time. So that was truly something, again, that was great. And then the table topics master was distinguished Toastmaster Panna. Panna ma'am did a great job inviting everyone, and the way with which she asked people to pick a number, and then there was a table topic behind every number was something really good. And I really must add, Panna ma'am, that the topics were of really good quality, and these are normally topics that you get to hear in area and division competitions, in contests. But truly, the fact that we are getting to practice these at a club level, since we are approaching the contest season, was something that was truly commendable. So I'm pleased to accept my heartiest commendations on that. And then we had the evaluation. The both of our prepared speakers had evaluators assigned to them beforehand, and both evaluators did an amazing job delivering the right feedback and sharing the points that the speakers would need to improve on. And speaking of table topics, we had a few participants today, and I just wrote down one or two things which I would like to mention about the table topic speakers. So first we had Dr. Rupesh Singh, who spoke about life being a gamble, as his topic was life is a gamble, a good hand wins. And he really hit the nail on the head when he mentioned about it being a gamble. And not only did he do that, but he also related it to his own story, that he mentioned that even he had to do that. So not only did he tell everyone else that it is a gamble, he also mentioned how it was a gamble for him and how he had to take that step. And I believe it truly humanizes a person when they give their own example and they make it part of the story. And that really added a lot to his topic. And next we had Toastmaster Seema, who spoke for go for height, not length. And I really agreed with the sentiment that she put forward, that even though everyone might have different goals, but the end objective is surely the same for all of us, which is to be the best possible version of ourselves, even if it is some CEO or if it is a householder, no matter what the profession is. And she definitely had great hand movement and great gestures while she was conveying the same. Then we had Toastmaster Ashutosh, who had a very interesting topic, which was fight to the end, then end the fight. And not only was the topic interesting, his answer was even more interesting, as I would have normally expected something philosophical, that he would have perhaps mentioned some story of some, like a quote, like it's not the size of the dog in the fight, the size of the fight in the dog. But the fact that he chose to mention current affairs and he related the events to what the topic was, it was truly, truly admirable. So Toastmaster Ashutosh, you did a wonderful, wonderful job. And initially I was thinking as to where this topic is going, but the fact that you brought it back and related it to the topic that you assigned was something truly great. And then we had guest Raja, who had the topic, pick your fights, not your sticks. So I must say that it was a very, very nice attempt for what I believe was your second meeting. So please do keep attempting table topics and you will feel more and more confident as you take up roles. Though I would just have one small request for you to be a little mindful of the time, please, as the table topic section is for 1 to 2 minutes. So maybe being a little more mindful of the time and perhaps keeping more content for your prepared speeches for when you join VirtuoMasters Club. And then we had Toastmaster Shubham, who had the topic full stack stand erect, which again was a very interesting topic, and he had good hand movement to depict height and mentioned about how we need to be the best possible version of ourselves, and if we follow ethics, and if we are the best possible versions of ourselves, if we are righteous, then that definitely means that the full stacks would stand erect. And the voting links were definitely shared on time for each and every speaker as they were done with their speech. And that is something that I really found interesting, and I would possibly look into inculcating the same in my own club. And I really liked how the word of the day was presented by sharing the slide on the screen. And a lot of people, I believe, absorbed that topic and the word of the day, and they used it. Normally what happens, at least what I've seen, is that only 1 or 2 people use it. But today a lot of people use that word of the day. So I believe that is a really, really good practice, and that should continue. So all in all, a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Just a few things to be kept in mind, such as the time and technical glitches. Technical glitches we cannot always help, but what we can do is just keep putting our best foot forward and hoping that we come out better at the other end. So with this, I sign off as the general evaluator, and would now like to hand the stage to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Angad. It was such a comprehensive evaluation from your side and your squad. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate that. We do take the feedback and we try to work on that. Thank you so much. A big round of applause. So as we conclude all the sections, I do have a little bit of surprise for you guys. So sharing some pictures from my travelogue for you guys. So all the memories that we spoke about. So I hope you all are able to see my screen. Great. So starting from top left, clockwise. So these are the sun-basking seals on the Pacific coast, which I was talking about. And they were so cute and so fun to watch, enjoying their time. And then we have the beautiful pebbles from the Atlantic Ocean, the one which I was talking about. They're the most beautiful ones which I have ever collected. All the fun activities on the Broadwalk on Santa Cruz. And here next we have the lone cypress. So this holds the record of being the most photographed tree in the entire North America. Next we have Cape Cod, which is the easternmost point of North America, right? So from here, if you actually swim, you're gonna reach London, like the UK, right? So I know like we really can't swim there, but yeah, if you sail. So here is what you see is the Highway 1. We have the Pacific coast on the right. So while you drive down this road, you will have the entire coast of the Pacific Ocean. We have some balancing stones here. A talented man who was balancing stones across the beach, across the coast, and something which I captured. And then you have those ferocious seagulls. They look cute, but be careful. So now I hope with all this, you all are charged up, you all are rejuvenated and looking forward to your next beach destination and holiday. So I just leave you with one thought that I get every time I visit a beach: sky above, sand below, peace within. Thank you, and over to the presiding officer.
Let's keep it going for a Toastmaster of the day. What a journey he has taken us with him. Toastmaster Ajitesh, we would like to go on a trip together. The entire VMC, VirtuoMasters Club, can go to a small beach. Let it be Diga also, but let us make a trip. We will all have fun together, right? All up for it? Yes. We had a session that was, you know what they say, quality over quantity. This was a very, very good session. The quality of the session was that high. Fantastic Toastmaster of the day, beautiful speeches, beautiful evaluations, and to top it up, we had a fantastic general evaluator. Now, I would like to hear from our distinguished Toastmaster Angad a little bit about himself. We heard about our meeting and how it went. We would like to know about your journey as a Toastmaster, which club you're a member of, and how did you come to know? I mean, I'm sure Krishnesh reached out to you. So over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Angad.
Thank you very much, Panama. So this was my first meeting at VirtuoMasters Club, and definitely it was a great experience, as I mentioned already. So just talking about myself, I joined Toastmasters in 2015. So I was one of the founding members of one of the clubs in my division, Division B, that is Chitkara University Toastmasters Club. At that time, I was studying in that university, and then people mentioned, the leadership at that time mentioned that they wanted a Toastmasters Club there. And at that time, I had heard of Toastmasters. I knew that it had to do with speaking in front of people, speaking on a stage, but I really did not know what all it had. And being in college, everyone just has that mentality of, okay, let's try this. You might meet someone there. Let's try that. Let's see what it is. So I just joined that. And after that, there was no looking back. So after that, just taking one role after the other, being available as much as possible. If someone wants to judge for some contest, that's sure, like we can definitely make it there, go there. And then I had the opportunity to lead Division B, which consists of Chandigarh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh. So this list is so long, it keeps getting longer. At times, even I have to remember constantly what all places are there. But definitely, it has been a great experience. And of course, Krishnesh had reached out to me regarding being a part of this meeting. And it was a sheer pleasure for me to attend this meeting. And I think this club is in Division R, if I'm not wrong. And yes, so it comes under Distinguished Toastmaster Rohan, who's a very good friend. And definitely, I would really look forward to attending more and more meetings of VirtuoMasters Club as well. And again, it was a great experience. And please accept my congratulations to the entire executive committee and to the area director and everyone involved in the day-to-day working of the club. It was a truly great experience, and there's no looking back, and everything was truly wonderful. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's great that we got to know a little bit about you. And yes, please do join us whenever you have the time. We meet on Saturdays from 4 to 6. We try to end it at 6. We go a little over 6 sometimes. And yes, we heard from you, guest Raja. Thank you. Please do visit us again. The voting link is open. Where is the voting link? Toastmaster Ayush, have you posted the voting link? Yes, the voting link has been posted in the chat box. I would request everyone to please vote. And for someone who is a very new Toastmaster, who's played the Toastmaster of the day for the first time, thank you, Toastmaster Ajitesh, for taking us on such a wonderful journey. You treated your theme very well, really enjoyed. You didn't take it too heavy. You took us on a journey. You reached out to everyone. Beautifully done. You're doing such a great job. Please, please do keep taking up roles. And yes, we want to hear more speeches from you too. Are the result in? Result is in? Toastmaster Ayush? I would like to mention to everyone that there is a mentor-mentee workshop tomorrow, that is Sunday at 10 a.m., which is being conducted by Zahid, Mohammad Zahid of Bangladesh. He's going to conduct a 1-hour mentor-mentee workshop tomorrow at 10 a.m. Please, everyone, try to join. There's a lot of things to learn from attending these workshops. Another quick question for everyone. Who all are there during the puja vacations? Who all are? Shalu, you're going on a trip. What? You're putting your hand up. You're not there. Who all are there? Krishnesh, you're there? Kshitij, Ajitesh, Seema?
Shalu will come back though before puja.
I think we should stop the recording.
I will come back on puja. I will come back on 10.
Okay. Okay, Shalu. Okay, for the purpose of recording, Toastmaster Shalu, best speaker for today. The best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Ashutosh. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Ashutosh. The best tag role player, Toastmaster, someone who's made a comeback, Toastmaster Kshitij. Welcome back, Kshitij. And the best main role player, no guesses. Any guesses? No guesses. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ajitesh. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Ajitesh. Such a wonderful job. Okay, with that, here's my gavel again. I'll formally close the meeting, bring it to an end, and we can have some chit chat. Can we stop the recording, please?